I'm Peter Sidwell. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to show you how to cook a wonderful product, Alaskan pollock. It is wild, it is sustainable, it takes flavours really well, healthy, easy to cook. It is a great product to use to feed your family. I'm going to show you a series of recipes that kind of show you how to prepare it, how to cook it, how to deliver cracking recipes for you to serve in your kitchen. I am Peter Sidwell. Welcome to Simply Good Food TV's kitchen. I am going to show you how to cook an incredible dish using Alaskan pollock. This is a fish that's frozen at source, it's sustainable, it's good for you, and it's super easy to cook. Comes to you frozen, but really easy to thaw out. All I've done is taken 2 frozen pieces of pollock straight from the freezer. I've put them on a piece of kitchen J cloth, put them on a tray, put them in the fridge, let them thaw out. That's it, really easy. Okay, but this dish is going to be like a warm salsa with chorizo, beautiful Spanish sausage. So we'll get started. I've got a pan heating up here, and then I'm just going to take about 75 grams of chorizo, or chorizo if you are in Spain, and then I'm just going to cut it long ways and then into quarters. And what we're going to try and do is just get all the flavour out of this first. So chopped chorizo, let's put that to one side. Okay, I've got some chili, a little bit, just to give it some extra warmth. But if you've got a very spicy chorizo sausage, maybe you don't need it. But this one's quite a mild, sort of sweet and smoky one. So I am just going to chop all that nice and fine. While I'm doing this, I've got my frying pan getting warm, okay? It's really important that your frying pan is hot and ready to cook. So we'll put our chili there. And then I've got some red onion. We're going to slice that. Now, can you see there, I've left the core on the onion, okay? That helps when I want to chop it all so it doesn't fall apart. So slice it long ways like that. And you can see how the core helps it all hold together. So we're just going to slice this nice and fine because we're going to kind of eat this not fully cooked. We want a bit of crunch, okay? Cut in 2/3 of the way in, look, yeah, and then we'll just chop. And if I do it this way, you can kind of see how we chop. So it's not an up and down motion, it's a rolling motion. And that's what we mean by letting the knife do the work. Okay. So we'll move that to this side because I don't want loads of cooking on that. I want it nice and raw. Kind of making a salsa, if you like. So we'll just... Okay, so that's my red onion to one side. Okay. So, onto the frying pan. A little bit of olive oil. Not a lot, because we're going to get some natural fats out of the chorizo. So, in with the sausage. And you should hear that kind of sizzle straight away. If you don't, your pan is not hot enough. So I work with induction, so I've just lifted the pan off the heat a little bit to allow the chorizo to cook. So I don't want it to scorch. What I'm trying to do is melt the actual fats and flavours out of the chorizo so that the beautiful pollock can suck it up. Okay? Right. So let's just turn this down. So I've got this on number 6. Okay, in with the chili. Give that a little mix. Okay. So let's just pop that on there for a second. And we're going to make space for the fish now. So can you see, if I just spoon this out, look, you can see, can you see the colour of the oil there? Look, it's that golden red, that's all the beautiful paprika that's coming out of the sausage, okay? So, move it all to one side so there's plenty of space for the fish to cook, okay? Let's bring the fish in. I'm just going to take a piece of kitchen roll and I'm going to pat the fish because I want rid of the moisture. Okay, I don't want wet moisture in there because I want to get a nice piece of colour. So just pick the fish up and pat it dry, okay? And just absorb any excess moisture. There we go. Right. I'm just going to simply cut this fish into 2 pieces, just so it's right shape for my frying pan. No other reason than that. A little bit of salt on there, and a little pepper. Okay, and just pat it on. Right, frying pan back on the heat. Okay. And then we're going to take our fish, and it's really, really dry now, which is good. And then we're just going to pop the fish into that space there. And we're just going to get some colour on it. And while we're doing that, we'll get all the rest of the ingredients ready. So let me show you there. Can you see that? So you can see how it's cooking. While that's going on, we've got the rest of our ingredients. So, coriander, beautiful. So we've got our stalks, coriander or cilantro, some people call it. We're going to chop the stalks really, really fine, because they've got bags and bags of flavour in there, yeah? So you don't want to waste those. And as you get to the leaf, just kind of open your knife up a bit, so it's kind of wider cut, alright? And we'll pop that to one side, that's ready to go. Tomatoes, now I've got a selection here of some really nice little plum, kind of San Marzano, little baby ones, which are really lovely and sweet. So we'll just chop those in half, because we don't want to cook this, we just want to kind of warm it through. There, that should be enough. And then I've got some normal regular tomatoes. I'm just going to cut those into a different shape. So I'm going to kind of cut them in slices, and then I'm going to cut them in chunks, kind of to release the water and the moisture. There we go. Just roughly chop them. If you haven't got fresh tomatoes, you could kind of drain a tin of tomatoes if you wanted. You just want to get a touch more colour on that fish before we add the moisture. And because if we add it now, it won't, it'll stop frying then, and it'll start to just kind of stew. Right, I've got some lime here. I'm going to add the zest straight into the pan, ready, because that's not got any moisture in it there. So that's in, and let's get this sliced in half, ready. Okay, so I'm going to take my tomatoes and I'm going to sit them on top of the chorizo, not on the fish, okay? Put the fish right over to the other side. There we go. So all we're doing really is just kind of warming this through. Take our chopped red onion, really nice and finely diced. There we go. That can go in, sit that on top of the tomatoes. Take our coriander stalk, sit that on top there. And I'm just getting all this ready, okay? Now, I've got some butter here. I don't need all that. I've got about 20 grams here. I'm just going to add that into the pan now. And it kind of then, if I show you that, look, you can see we've got all our fresh there. Butter down the middle. Fish browning off and getting lovely there. So let's pop that. Right. Okay, so the fish is just cooking nicely now. I'm going to turn this over because they are almost cooked. Easy done. And then now we can start to mix all the flavours together, because the moisture now is just going to finish that fish off now. The residual heat is there. And we're just warming through now. Everything is cooked. Okay? Couple more jobs. Squeeze of lime juice, okay? All the way in. This is now kind of turning it into that beautiful salsa, really. We've got acidity in there, we've got crunch and everything else like that. Take some of the coriander and we'll stir that through. Okay. Beautiful. Right, we're cooked. So really quick, really easy. And then all we do is we take a nice big spoonful. I just pop this plate on here so you should be able to see it, okay? And then we just take a nice spoonful right in the middle. Some more. There we go. All just lovely, beautiful flavours. Yeah. And then let's take the fish. Just sit that on top there. Nice and simple. We'll finish that with a touch more coriander. Squeeze of lime juice. We'll just kind of bring it together. Beautiful. And then I like a little drizzle of olive oil because it kind of gives it a nice silkiness. A little drizzle around the outside. There we go. That is my Alaskan pollock with a chorizo, tomato and coriander salsa.